we have someone super special. We have from our dub production team, we have Mr. Dave Caspit. Come on, Dave. If you guys went to the One Punch Man event yesterday, you may have already met Dave. He's so awesome, and he's going to sit right here next to me. Give him a big round of applause. But just like Sailor Moon, Dave and Shark can't do it alone. What do you say we get some Guardians? Does that sound good? Yeah. All right, we're gonna have some Guardians. Now you got to cheer really loud for them so they can hear the love. Can you do that for me? All right, first off, we have the Guardian of Silence. Normally things are gonna go really wrong when Saturn shows up, but Cristina shows up, it's great. We'll let her get seated with her beautiful cosmic helper. Now, who here likes the Outer Guardians? Want to see some more Outer Guardians? Yeah! Right. Let's welcome Sailor Neptune, played by Neptune! Let's give her a big round of applause! And you can't have Neptune without Sailor Uranus. Let's give Sailor Uranus a big round of applause. Come on. Aw, so sweet. So sweet. Now, that's just... We don't know what to expect. Speaking of that, we have the Guardian of Love herself, Sailor Venus, played by Cherami and Orange. Let's hear it for Sailor Venus. Let's hear it. Hey, Venus. Now let's have Now let's have a little thunder and lightning. Can I get a little thunder and lightning? And joining her, something a little fiery, a little like goes outside. We have Sailor Mars. Hey, Cristina! Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Now it's time for our royal family. Starting with the Guardian of the Future Moon, we have Sandy Fox, who plays Sailor Now, we have someone who's always ready to swoop in and save the day. We have Tuxedo Mask. Let's hear it for Robbie. And finally, now I want you to scream really, really loud. We have the Guardian of Love and Justice herself. We have Sailor Moon, played by Stephanie Sheh. Okay, now that we have everyone, yay, wave my cosplayers. They're going to be helping out the whole event, so I'm going to let them scuttle away and go into the audience and come out with some cool stuff. So let's start with some questions for our lovely cast. All of your friends want to know some burning questions. And in the tradition of the moon panel, we're going to start simple and then ratchet up the difficulty. So to start off with, how excited is everyone for Anime Expo Sailor Moon Day? Who wants to start? I'll start. Yay, Neptune!
I am very, very excited to be here. Last year, we were announced as the Outer Guardians, so I'm so finally excited to be on a panel with all these beautiful people. Very happy to be part of this amazing cast. So yay for Sailor Moon Day!
I am so excited I did my nails. Like, you can't see, but if you come through the autographs, I will show you.
She has all the Guardians on her nails. Her nails.
I'm so excited to see all the cosplay. I love seeing how you guys create your costumes and dressed up, so.
Sailor Moon Day is always such a blast. You guys are so wonderful and enthusiastic, and it's wonderful to be around so many Sailor Moon fans, and it reminds me that I'm not alone in loving Sailor Moon, because there's so many of you, and it's also a wonderful excuse to buy a new orange dress.
You don't need an excuse to buy an orange dress. Yeah, I never need an excuse. You don't need it.
Sailor Moon Day is always my favorite day of Anime Expo, and I look forward to it every year. And this year I'm like, alright, I'm gonna get in shape, I'm gonna get my Beyonce body. I didn't do it. No, I ate a lot of Funyuns, but that's the thought that counts.
I tried to eat salad for 90 days leading up to this day. I failed at around like day 20.
So I'm excited to meet all of you guys!
Robbie wants to talk.
I'm just excited.
And Stephanie, I was very impressed with your salad tweets.
Yes, I would have given up too. You're not alone.
Well, I'm really Usagi at heart. I like to eat too much, so we knew that was gonna fail at the start.
Good trying. All right, we're gonna, for those of you in the audience who have not yet met this cast, if you could tell us a little bit about the part you play in the production process or your character in Sailor Moon. I'm gonna start with Daymond Dave over here, because you have a really cool story. We'll get to later, but.
Well, I'm Dave Cassiman. I'm the localization manager at Viz Media. I am not the lead producer on Sailor Moon. I do some other things there, but I'm supporting the localization of the property, obviously. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do for this show.
My name is Stephanie Sheh, and I voice Sailor Moon. And I love it. And I could go on for hours about how much I love it, but I won't.
I'm Robbie Daymond, I voice Tuxedo, and I've been talking all weekend, so if I sound like a prepubescent boy at times, I apologize. But Sailor Moon was my very first anime series that I was booked in 2 years ago, at about this time when we announced that AX 2 years ago, and I got to do a bunch since, but it's still my favorite tuxedo mask forever.
My name's Sandy Fox, and I'm the voice of Chibiusa and Black Lady. And this has been an amazing journey to voice Chibiusa and to work on Sailor Moon with these amazing actors. And I just am so grateful to be here.
Hi, I'm Cristina, and I voice a monster of the day named Octave. I'm really excited to be here for Sailor Moon Day again, and I love Sailor Moon, so I'm happy.
I'm Amanda Miller, and I voice Sailor Jupiter. Alright, and I don't remember the second part of the question.
We know you're Jupiter. Enough said.
My name is Cherami, and I voice Sailor Venus. I have really enjoyed becoming a part of this series, I grew up watching it, so it's very surreal to get to be involved in a property this huge, especially that was one of the first things that I watched when I was a kid in anime, so it's very full circle. American Mendez, and I voice Sailor Uranus, and wow, I'm super excited. I'm newer to Sailor Moon just on a general basis to the cast and like mostly to the show, but I've always known it's been around, and it's such an honor to be a part of it and like be a part of all this, and I'm really enjoying it. It's so cool being like, you know, with all my friends in the past and like newer people that I'm getting to know, and it's so amazing. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm Landa, and I voice Sailor Neptune. Sailor Moon was a show that I also grew up watching, and Sailor Neptune ended up becoming my favorite character. So this is a dream role for me that I'm actually playing her now. So I am absolutely stoked.
Hi, I'm Cristina Cabanos, and I play Sailor Saturn and Mistress 9. It's very exciting. This is my first Sailor Moon Day, and I'm really happy to be part of such a beloved show, and I'm really thankful for all of you for coming to see us.
All right, next question. So, really quickly, because we're going to talk a little bit more later about this, what is your favorite thing about working on Sailor Moon so far? You want to start with David? You want to start with Christine Marie? We can go back the other way.
I think, well, my favorite part is being able to play so many dual personalities. I don't know if I get to do that so much. I've been like 4 different versions of Hotaru, and it's been like really crazy, but it's been really challenging and fun, and I like the challenge.
One of my favorite parts about the whole production pretty much is that I want to be Sailor Neptune when I grow up. So I'm kind of sort of getting away with being her, I guess. And I happen to just be a huge nerd over this show, so that's been my favorite part of the whole thing.
My favorite part is honestly like all the really good-looking ladies on the show. Like I'm totally straight, but I would date any of the Sailor Guardians. I think my favorite part about working on the show so far is since I watched it as a kid, rewatching it and catching different things that I missed the first time, and then talking to the director and saying, was this episode aired? Is this one of the ones that was cut? And so I'm seeing the show all over again with a different perspective, and of course seeing episodes that I didn't get to see before. So it's really, really fun to get to relive my childhood and then feel like I have a more active part in it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think building off of what Cherami said, because like, you know, Sailor Jupiter was my favorite character growing up, and I used to play her in my backyard and watch these episodes and reenact these episodes, so it's kind of cool to be able to do that for real. But also, I love the fact that we get to kind of be a part of, like you said, the forbidden stuff, because I remember as a kid, I would be like, that's not what they said, she didn't say talent, like, you know, or oh, did you know so-and-so dies, they don't just get kidnapped, so it's kind of cool to be able to like add that back in and be like, it's the naughty version.
I think for me, I've really been able to reconnect to friends in a different way since being in Sailor Moon. I think it's because we now have this, like, there are people I know who I didn't know were really into Sailor Moon as a kid too. But now that it's out again, it's readily available. I've developed some really awesome friendships, and it's great to be here on doing panels and promoting the show. It's just so important to me, and yeah.
I wasn't really like as aware or grew up with Sailor Moon. I'm a little bit older than that, but I was just so honored when I got cast in the show, and then being a part of this series that is so universal. And I love the Vice episode that they shot last year here at Anime Expo, but I saw that and it brought me to tears because I love it that we now have an anime that is completely open and to all races, all, you know, sexual preferences. I mean, it's just socially like open the doors that we're gonna play this out as it was written, and it's acceptable now. So that's what I want to see, is more acceptance in the world, and I think it's media that's gonna make it, you know, more people more aware that all these different relationships do exist, and we're all just a part of, it's a part of our lives. So that's really exciting to me, to see that go out into the world and be a part of it.
I think I've been like sort of learning about more about anime through Sailor Moon because I kind of started watching it a little bit later, like sort of like Dragon Ball Z, Tsunami, and then I'd watch a series here or there. And but now getting to the show and seeing how the story unfolds and watching all the different tropes pop up and the different characters pop up, learning how much Sailor Moon as a property influenced the media as a whole. And I think that's one of the coolest things I see. And now when I'll go watch an anime, I'll be like, oh, that's definitely something that was sort of born out of this show. And that's one of my favorite parts, is learning about the story and enjoying it from that aspect, not as an actual part of it, but just as someone from the outside sort of looking in and getting to learn about it. It's great, it's iconic.
So my favorite thing, I think, has to be just getting to know all my guardians and Robbie. Like, it's been such a joy getting to do these events, and we normally record separately and stuff, and like, you know, little things, you know, realizing how sweet Christine is, and how hard it is for Amanda not to be swearing all the time. You know, like little things like that. I love them all. It's like, it's just such a great, happy family.
Thank you, Seven. I think, yeah, I'm just going to echo the sentiment for a lot of us here. I think the opportunity to really deliver Sensei's true vision, to take what was in the original content and bring it to all you guys here today is really an honor, and I'm happy that you guys are reacting so well. Thank you.
Just FYI, before I went on stage, I panicked and I turned to Cherami and Stephanie. I'm like, wait, am I allowed to swear? I don't know. So she is not wrong.
It's always nice to have your guardians as a reminder. Actually, this next question is for Dave. Yeah. So you've been working on localizing some of the lyrics in Sailor Moon, and your work, of course I just saw it on a Word document, is beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about the process for localizing, especially of lyrics, because that's a unique challenge?
Sure. I think, well, first of all, just localizing the scripts. When I'm localizing, I want to get beyond the surface level. I think it's easy to take Japanese and look it up in the dictionary and you find the same definition. But I want to add, when I'm translating, some color to it, some poetry. So I think it's important to have it digestible like that, but I also want to remain true to the original content. The artists in Japan, the writers, they have their vision, and I want to get true to that, but present it in a way that echoes that. It's not just a surface level translation. But when you get to lyrics, it's a very challenging process because Japanese is already kind of an impressionistic language. They can say a lot in a little. The language itself is very efficient, so when you go into lyrics, song lyrics, it's even more difficult. You have to get that sentiment in. You only have a few words or a few seconds to say it. So balancing that is tough, and I also want to keep it true to Sensei's vision as well. So it's also been great to work with some of our partners in Japan to make sure that they are checking our translations and making sure that it's what they want as well as what we want. So it's a team process, and that's fun.
Awesome. So yeah, that's a great response. Yeah, lots and lots of love is going into Sailor Moon, and I know your team is working so hard to make it as magical as possible.
Thank you.
Give him a big round of applause. All right, so speaking it out, this is actually for everybody. So what is your favorite Sailor Moon song that you've encountered so far? If you have one, you can say you like it.
I really like Aino Senshi. That's the one in R, right? During the battle with the four sisters.
song. It just makes me so happy. And it's like, we were all dancing backstage.
Yeah, well, you can't help but dance along in Moonlight Densetsu.
This is true, but I love that one the most. I think my favorite is still Yatto Tadoritsuita Ai Nigirishime.
That's my favorite.
I really like the new ending. I don't know if they've changed it since then, but the new ending for Crystal, the third season, the Uranus and Neptune ending. I really like it.
Eternal Eternity? Anybody like Eternal Eternity?
I happen to also be a big fan of the original opening theme, but also Christina's just started singing Japanese. She was also singing in German back there. She just needs to stop.
Hey, so, unfortunately, Daymond Dave, has to head off to the airport, so his time with us is short.
Sorry, I made the wrong reservation.
Yeah, you would rather hang out with all these party
I
people.
definitely would like to see you guys some more, but I have to go. Otherwise, it's going to be crazy in the airport. So I have to go. But I'm sorry I never see you hopefully again.
We love you, Dave! As Dave bids us adieu, I actually saw somebody really special in the audience. I want him to come up and wave really quick. We have a villain in the audience. Yeah, we have Professor Tomoe himself. He's gonna come up and say hi to you. Just really quick, he's gonna wave hi and bye because we don't want him to get blasted by the Sailor Guardians. So, high five, Slaughter. Give him a big round of applause. Father, daughter. Oh, high five. Oh, hugs. I have a feeling we might hear more from him later. You know what I mean? So we're gonna give these guys just a little bit of a break, and we are going to watch a trailer. Since Cristina was singing for us, she also sings in Sailor Moon R. So we have a quick trailer for Sailor Moon R in which she sings a song. You're not going to hear it in the trailer, but if you like what you heard before in German or Japanese, you can catch it on Sailor Moon R. So let's check it out. It's available at the Biz booth. Glitter. Yeah, and if you don't have your copy yet, that is available at the Biz booth right now. More glitter. More glitter. Always on with the glitter. All right, so it's a time you guys have been waiting for. It's trivia time. You guys excited? We have some awesome prizes. So Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Moon is going to help pick people out of the audience. And if you guys know Moonlight Party, anybody like Moonlight Party? We have Sailor Bryce here helping out with the prizes. Right, hi, Bryce? Yeah. All right, so let's get to it. If you know the answer to the question, raise your hand, and we will pick you. And if you know the answer, you will get an awesome prize. Sound good? All right, raise your hand if you know it. Don't scream it. All right. Right here in the front. With the horns, Jupiter with the horns.
The Cosmic Car Compact.
Yes, you got that right. It is the Cosmic Heart Compact. Bryce is going to give you an awesome prize. All right, now time for question 2. Sailor Moon is going to pick one. Question 2 is, what is the title of the main ending theme of Sailor Moon R? Right over here. Right over here.
Ultimate Policy.
Yes, you are correct. The main Sailor Moon R is Ultimate Policy. Congratulations. All right, we got one more question. Where's Jupiter? Okay, we're going to go over to this section. Raise your hand if you know it. It is Chibiusa's guardian. Pick someone, Jupiter. Pick a winner.
It's Diana!
Yes, it's Diana! Hey, he is named Diana. Yay, congratulations. We've got more trivia later. Now we're going to talk about Sailor Moon Crystal. So we have a few fans of Sailor Moon Crystal here. Well, it is available for pre-order right now at the business. This is another beautiful, beautiful deluxe set. It is coming out in August. And I'm going to show you a really cool trailer for Sailor Moon Crystal, Part 1, the Dark Kingdom Art. Sailor Moon Crystal, the Dark Kingdom Art. Yeah, so if you go to the Viz booth, you can get something really, really magical. We have these wonderful foil embossed art cards that have a code on the back, so Sailor Moon Crystal will come to your door right on release date. And you also get your Sailor Moon Crystal Sun Catcher featuring Sailor Moon and her guardians. Aren't these pretty? Yeah. You can get those only at the Viz booth. For those of you who've been keeping up with Sailor Moon Crystal. And anybody watching season 3? Season 3 takes place in the Infinity arc of Sailor Moon, if you know the manga. So let's take a look at Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3's trailer. All of Sailor Moon Crystal right now on Viz.com. And if you love Sailor Moon, don't forget Sailor Moon Crystal is based directly on the original manga by Naoko Takeuchi. You can get this at the Kodansha booth right in the dealer's room. And if you haven't read it yet, it is one of the most beautiful shoujo manga of all time. So, speaking of Sailor Moon Crystal, I just keep putting more glitter in my keynotes. It's kind of a problem. I bet Steve Jobs really regrets putting that in the program because certain girls wouldn't abuse it. But I do it anyway.
You never have too much glitter.
That's right. That's why you're my favorite right now. You can go to the Viz booth and get this beautiful Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3 postcard. So come to the Viz booth, see people right up front, and get your very own Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3 art card. Now it's time for more questions for you guys. Hope you have your thinking caps on. These aren't too hard. You know, Amanda, I think you had a Beyonce body all along.
I agree.
You are awesome. So this question is just for the Inner Guardians about Sailor Moon Crystal. I know you guys have finished recording part 1. So what was it like to go in and record Sailor Moon Crystal after having established your characters in Sailor Moon Classic? Can't help it.
It was definitely a unique experience because how often do you establish a character and then get to do that character again, but like a totally different tone, different, I guess sometimes different intention. Like, especially I know for Cristina, it was definitely very different, but like, yeah, I'll let her speak first.
Getting my answer.
I think that I really enjoyed it because my background before I started doing voiceover work was in film, and so I feel like it was really nice to kind of get to bring my film acting background and kind of make these characters a little more rounded and a little more realistic and subtlety, rather than, you know, with the classic series, you get to be fun and do some crazy things, and there's a lot of darkness that happens in Crystal, and I like doing that. I like being able to cry and all of that stuff. So it was fun.
I really enjoyed exploring the side of Ray, where she is really somebody who's kind of an outcast of society. And also, when we were looking at the animation and hearing the Japanese voice performance, we realized that it's not going to be the same exact voice as original. She actually became a lot deeper and more airy and princessy. And so it was really cool to play the same character in a completely different way.
I felt like Chibiusa's tone was probably, of all the characters, didn't change as much. Her tone, she's still young, But I did feel that her relationships, there were more subtleties to her interactions with all the other characters. And it was more emotional and more realistic, I think, in Crystal than it was in the original. So, but I really did enjoy it. It was a concise story, but it was very intense. It was very emotional. Black Lady was, yeah, she was very different. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, Black Lady was way more intense in this one. Yeah.
It's same as everyone else is saying. It was definitely, it felt more grounded than some of the other stuff. But I do miss a little bit of the silliness of the original 90s Tuxedo mask, just because that was really a lot of what I gravitated toward in audition and all this stuff. But to play more of the regular Mamoru in the streets, more of his relationship with Usagi, that was really fun, and it was a little easier to get into Crystal, not only because we'd already known the characters in a sense from doing so much of the original, but for me in particular, you get to find out who he is as a person within a couple of episodes. In Sailor Moon, you're like, what is this guy that's just kind of a jerk to Usagi, and then pops up and does something weird, and then you don't see him on like 20 episodes, I'm like, what am I doing? But Crystal is much more clear what his sort of role is as it goes along, and I think that's part of the nature of it being a little bit more concise in the manga. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm pretty sure it follows the manga a little bit closer, so the story's just tight. And from an acting standpoint, that's a little bit easier to play than something that's so stretched out.
I also miss the silliness because I'm a goofy person and I like to make things really silly. But it was nice, yeah, it's much grounded character. It was actually quite challenging because, you know, Usagi still has goofy moments, so you still have to be goofy. And I would always second guess to be like, okay, I'm toning it down. Is it still funny? You know, because really I want to be like like this, but like it's not the right tone. Also for a lot of Crystal, we were dubbing at the classic still at the same time. So sometimes I'd get called in for a session and it would be like half of the time we'd be doing one version, the other half would be the other version. It was a little bit like, oh, hey, what's going on?
So, speaking of that, so since you've recorded a lot of Crystal already, do you have any scenes that have stand out that you've recorded so far in Sailor Moon Crystal? Any favorite moments? You can start. You are Sailor Moon.
I just remember there was like a whole series where like at the end of each episode, a guardian would get kidnapped. And then I would just have to scream out their name like really long. And then I started noticing the pattern. I was like, oh wait, I know what the last line of this episode is gonna be. We're like, I did it just like that.
Finally got a call out. It's like if you were like watching a bunch of people do something really cool all day long and you just kind of had to sit in the corner. Like the girls are transforming in all these cool outfits and all this amazing stuff is happening. I'm just in the corner like, oh, Tuxedo mask. And then finally Crystal like got like a little bit of power. And for as silly as Tuxedo the smoking bomber is, I was so pumped to say it.
At least it's not gentle uterus.
I love my relationship with Hotaru. I love that, you know, they're just that sweetness and the compassion. I think a lot of Chibiusa's compassion comes out in her, you know, her love for her friend, and so I love that journey as part of it. And yeah, I'm excited. Like, you know, now I'm in training, so I'm getting to kind of learn my power more and experience that. So that's really exciting.
So there's a scene I can't really talk about because it's a spoiler, but I will say this, I almost had a boyfriend. I was so excited! In Crystal. Yeah. That's the thing that I think about when I think of Crystal.
That was my favorite scene as well, but well, one of my favorite scenes in Crystal, just because it was so intense, and I felt like we were like, no, remember us, please, please. And we were like, it went on for a couple of episodes, and every time I went into the studio, I was like, this is the moment. This is, I feel it. I feel really good. I'm gonna get a boyfriend today. This is gonna be great. And, you know, it was good. I also liked getting to see the backstory of us a little more in depth and like what our relationship was with Chibiusa and like the whole birthday party scene was really sweet.
I might just be biased because it's like my entry episode, but like I love the scene where like she's kind of having that emotional crisis where she's like, yeah, like nobody's ever gonna love me, like she's like breaking down, because in the old show, like you got the sense that she was lonely and like she was kind of thirsty and wanted a man. Right. I think if she had the Beyonce body, maybe she would have gotten I don't know. But in this show, like I love in the scene where she goes from being like kind of like a victim to being heartbroken, and then like Usagi says those words to her, and she just kind of was like, power up, and then she's like, I don't know, it was a really fun scene to do because you go from like distraught to like, all right, flipping this chick. I almost said something else, and then I also love this fact that she was like the only one who didn't need to be told what to do. Like when Luna threw the pen, she's like, all right, I got this.
So now that we've had the inner guardians have a little bit of fun for a while, let's talk to our new friends, our outer guardians. It's been a little while since you guys were announced, so how does it feel to be a part of the cast of Sailor Moon? Like, what's it like for you to be a part of this magical journey?
It still hasn't quite hit me yet. I'll let you know when it does. On a more personal note, I've known many people in the cast for a couple of years now, and they've become good friends even before I was cast in this. So I'm just happy to be in a show with friends and happy to be in this amazing show all together. Like I said, it has not quite hit me yet. So
Yeah, kind of the same for me. It still feels really surreal. I have a bunch of people that ask me about it though, so it's kind of hard to actually feel like it's a thing because we haven't heard too much of this yet. But I have a lot of people that talk to me about it. I'm super excited. I just answered a question about it yesterday. Somebody asked, what was it like how did you feel when you got cast? And I was kind of explaining within the Twitter limit that I was actually in a session for another series when I got the email, and it was a totally different character, and I was like, oh my god, like I had to reread the email 10 times. It didn't help that Lauren's name was also in the email, so I kind of knew that Lauren wasn't in ahead of time on accident. I was like, is this really for me? Is it for Lauren? I don't know, because it's got both of our names, and I'm really confused. But yeah, once I was kind of like, this is a thing that's happening. Like I almost started crying during my other session because I was like, even not, knowing too much about the series beforehand, it's just a thing that I've always known about. Like I think I said earlier. So it's been so amazing to be a part of something so huge. Yeah, it's great.
Just today.
I second everything that they said.
But yeah, like I remember getting the email too. I think you guys got announced. You got it before I did because I think I did it before. But once I got it, I immediately called Cristina, and we just like jumped up and down together and screamed. And we're so happy because I was like, oh my god, we're in it together! And I'm so happy that I can call everyone on this table my friend. I'm gonna cry, so stop.
Actually, it's funny that she mentioned that she didn't cry because I was like, wait a minute, we did cry because we went to the biz offices and did like a bunch of stuff, and we got to watch an episode, all three of us in it, and I wasn't gonna cry until Lauren started crying, and then we were all crying. It was just so magical. It was really cool.
Yeah, so you guys got to watch an episode with Sailor Moon S. Like a really, really early version of an episode where you guys were all together, and you weren't expecting that. So actually, let's take a little diversion, tell the audience a little bit about what it was like to sit down together and watch all of your hard work on the screen.
It was like we were one big happy family. Kino afterwards.
That was really emotional. I was moved by it. Like, it was really, because we've done it so individually. So it was nice to finally hear all of us together, and it was very surreal, and it blew our minds.
Yeah, it was pretty special not only hearing us together, but hearing us together with the entire cast. Like, that was pretty amazing, and that's what I was really looking forward to. So.
It was so adorable. They were in the room, in the filming room, and they were crying. And I walked in, I saw them, I was like, are you guys okay? Oh my gosh, there's 3 voice actors crying in the office. I hope Ken, our CEO, doesn't see. I was like, oh, that's like, why are there 3 crying girls in that room?
Were they like dramatic soap opera, like 1 tear cry, or were they like ugly crying?
I don't think there's any way they could cry that would not.
That's true. That's true.
To be fair, Char was also tearing up.
It's just so beautiful.
Shar, if I remember correctly, like before they were cast, you were telling me, you didn't tell me what their names were, but later you confirmed, and you were like, when you were listening to auditions, you were like, there is a pair that if you can get them approved, you cried or something, you listened to them, you're like, they are perfect. And so like, I'm just happy.
I just got to hear them after the fact, because sometimes the production team like shares with me and some of the auditions that come in, and I'm like sitting there like eating my lunch while working. It's good to have things on in the background and just listening to a lot of them, and I heard too. That was like, oh my god, and it was just oh my god, like ultimately, yeah, it wasn't my decision, of course, but yeah, it's so great that you guys are all together. How do you feel? Alright, we have one more for the Outer Guardians. So, none of you guys have been recording in season 3, Sailor Moon S. What have been some of your favorite scenes to work on?
I think some of my favorite scenes were the ones that I had with Chibiusa. I really loved their friendship, and I just love how she's like a light in Hotaru's life that she really needed, and it's just really sweet to see it grow and change. And I also like being a baby.
You were a very cute baby, just like gosh, there's so many scenes, because this is actually one of my favorite seasons. I just happen to love any of the scenes where it's just Michiru and Haruka just show up together every single time, and they just happen to be a perfect sync. I think that's really cool. But there are a few scenes in particular that are pretty intense and very, I don't want to necessarily say dark, but they are, that I don't want to say, I don't want to spoil anything, but there were some pretty intense scenes that I was really excited to record, and I'm really hoping you guys enjoy it because there was a lot of heart put into it, so.
I like any scene where Haruka and Michiru show up in a helicopter. Because I don't know where they got it from. But who cares? They're in a helicopter. Uber helicopter, yeah.
You guys can start that.
We should.
She probably got it from the same place Mamoru got the bus.
Yeah, the same transport hub.
Need a ride, ladies?
Hashtag Tux Bus.
Hashtag bruh.
Alright, so we have one more for our Outer Guardians. Now, we asked this to the Inner Guardians at the very first Sailor Moon Day, so it's you guys' turn, no escape. Who is your favorite character in Sailor Moon that is not the character you play?
Jupiter.
Why do I like her?
Yeah.
I feel like growing up, she was the most like me. She's very like, she likes cute things, but she's also like a really tough girl. And she's got that banging Beyonce body. Like Amanda.
Right? And now you get to punch me in the stomach. Surpass it. No, in the show.
No, in real life.
Okay, real life. All the time.
It's flying everywhere. But yeah, I just really liked her. I felt like she was the closest to myself.
my favorite is Sailor Uranus. Like, Sailor Uranus is my favorite because she's so cool. She's so cool. She's so awesome. No, I just love that she, not only can she's an excellent driver, but she also rides motorcycles. She also looks great in a suit. I mean, come on. She's a really cool character, and I love her personality. She's just, again, somebody I want to be when I grow up.
I think my favorite is Chibiusa. I've always loved her since I was a kid. Like, that's the one I attached to. Maybe it's because she's all pink. And little and pink. And I'm little and pink. It happens to be my aura color. You can ask Cristina about that later. But yeah, so her.
So sweet. Now this one is for everyone, as you guys are still recording Sailor Moon. So for those of you who know what's coming up in Sailor Moon, what are some of the parts you're most looking forward to working on in the upcoming seasons?
I've been promised gentle uterus for the last 3 years now, so I'm still waiting for gentle uterus.
All I want to do is rip off the Santa suits. That's all. Say the one line of beauty and then disappear for the rest of the year. That's all I want.
Just give it to us now.
I can't wait to see what happens with Pegasus.
And I can't wait for the Sailor Moon Day where we introduce the Sailor Starlight. They're out there just waiting to be cast.
Thanks for
Yeah, like I'm really excited for Stars. I'm excited as well for Gentle Uterus. I've been talking about it. I'm also really excited for the episodes. I don't know if it's near the end of Super S or if it's the beginning of Stars, where like each of them like fight for Usagi and then get trapped in the mirrors or something. I always feel like those are so angsty and cool.
That's the beginning of Stars.
Okay.
Yes, with Helena, my favorite villain.
I'm very, very excited about Stars because I've heard so much about it and I did not see that as a kid. So I love Stars, so I feel like it's just, I'm gonna love it. I'm also very excited about that sword situation happening for Sailor V and Crystal. I've played characters with swords so many times now, and it's about time Sailor V got a sword. I'm very excited. And I want more with Diana. Obviously I love Artemis. I love Diana, so I just can't wait to see more of Diana.
I think one of the only clips I've ever seen of Stars is the one where Haruka gets really jealous of Seiya when she's like in the room with Neptune, and I'm really looking forward to all that jealousy going on.
Stole my answer. I am looking forward to that, and I'm very excited about Stars. Even though we're technically really not in Super S, I am really excited as to who's going to be the Amazon Trio. I really love me some Amazon Trio, and like the Starlights, you know, they're waiting out there to be cast. So I love the Amazon Trio.
I'm not really sure what happens next, but I hope it involves me growing up with my new little family.
Oh, so much sugar, so sweet, so sweet. All right, now we're about ready to the part you guys have all been waiting for. So we're gonna do a little bit more trivia. So if we can get our Sailor Guardians ready to help us. We have Sailor Moon, we have, where's Jupiter? Where did Jupiter go? Oh, she's back there. So we're gonna do some trivia. We're going to ask you guys, we're gonna let you guys ask a few questions, and then we have some big announcements. You guys excited? All right, so when we do a little bit of audience questions, make sure you don't leave because we have a big announcement. And when you leave the panel today, you are going to get a treat. Does that sound like fun? You're going to get a very lovely item. Okay, so this is our last trivia break, so get your thinking caps on. All right, I'm going to start with Sailor Moon. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, we're going to pick a winner, and Sailor Bryce is going to give you a prize. All right, so our first question, raise your hand if you know it. What does Usagi say to turn into Super Sailor Moon? Right here, this Mercury, right over here.
Crisis Makeup.
Yes, Crisis Makeup. Yay, give her a round of applause. All right, we're gonna go to Jupiter. She's in the back, and I can't really see back there, so you're gonna have to pick a winner. Jupiter, can you do it? All right, question 2. Sorry, computer malfunction. I have a little bit of Usagi on the brain. Alright. Now, for real this time, question 2. What is Sailor Pluto's main attack in Sailor Moon X?
No.
You know it?
Death Scream.
Yes, Dead Scream! Hey, congratulations! Yeah, I made it trickier harder this time. Dead Scream. All right, now we have time for just a few, you guys seem pretty feisty, audience questions. Now make sure you stay here because the announcement is coming right after this. All right, raise your hand if you want to ask our lovely cast a question. We'll let Sailor Moon pick first.
Yes, it's been decades since we've actually seen a Sailor Moon video game. Oh, yes. And we've never seen a Sailor Moon video game brought over here in the US.
Well, this media works on the anime for Sailor Moon. There's no news of a video game at this time, but we'd love to have it happen in the future. So stay tuned. Unfortunately, we have no news about any video game content. All right, we're gonna go to
Sailor Moon Drops is a game for Android, and it's an officially licensed Namco Bandai run over, and it's a new game.
And just a warning, it's highly addictive. Highly addictive.
Yeah, but right now, no localized Sailor Moon games with the English stuff. But yes, you're right, Sailor Moon Drops. You can get the app. All right, Jupiter, you got one back there.
You got mine.
I was wondering, since ours already finished, are we going to be getting the movie soon, or do we have to wait until the series is already finished?
We don't have a release date on the movies at this time, but you can expect them sooner rather than later. How's that sound? Good question. All right, Sailor Moon.
Hi.
Hi. Coming to good AX?
Super excited. I finished Crystal Season 3. Is there going to be Season 4?
There's no news from Japan at this time for Crystal Season 4, but I love the dream arc. I really hope it happens. Because, you know, I love Mendez and Amazon Trio, Amazon's content, but there's no news from Japan at this time, so fingers crossed. All right, Jupiter!
Do you guys ever plan to put the new English dub for Sailor Moon on Toonami?
That would be up to Toonami to bring on the programming that they want. Of course, we would love all the anime to be on TV all the time, forever, but you would have to contact them if you want to see
Like, if people were to, like, maybe tweet at Tsunami, or make some sort of thing.
I don't make the decisions for them.
You should tweet at Tsunami.
Oh, thanks, ma'am.
It would be really cool to see them on TV now. All right, one more from Sailor Moon.
This is for Uranus and Neptune. In one of the episodes, you guys said, or in the show, it says that you guys have patrons. And I was just wondering who those patrons were.
Oh, in Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3, they say they get their money from patrons. Oh, I don't think it's never elaborated on in the manga.
It is not, and I am a huge Sailor Moon nerd, and I have no idea to this day. They are mystery patrons, and they are probably the reason why we have a helicopter.
They just got a really good profile on Patreon.
I just get helicopter money. All right, Jupiter, we have one from Jupiter.
Yep, we have one.
All right, where are you? Jupiter? Hey, Hey, you're way back there. Wow, you're official.
Hi everybody. I just wanted to ask if you guys accidentally use their voice at times you're not meaning to.
The character voice?
The character voice.
I think if that happened, we wouldn't be here. We might be in like a room with some rubber and Tuxedo Master's, well, not today, but it's pretty close to my voice. So, but I don't like, go to the public bathroom and scream Tuxedo while smoking bottles. You guys see me do that? Not run away.
I'm disappointed, Robbie. I thought that's exactly true.
I sometimes talk to my dog in that voice, and then his ears go.
Even though we'll be a guardian sometime.
I feel like Sailor Jupiter's voice is a version of my voice that's less snarky and like it's more my friendly voice. And so I find that I think I use it more in commercials. So like if you ever hear Good Thins commercial, that's me. It's like, yeah, it's like Good Thins, your go-to good. And it's a little bit like I put a smile on because I guess usually I'm grumpy. I don't know.
Yelling at my boyfriend or dog, I kind of sound like Ray.
You chastise them?
I do. Like, clean up. I'll chastise you.
Your dog cleans up its own poop.
She's talking about her boyfriend.
Sailor Moon, do you have another question?
This is for all of the Sailor Guardians who's actually watched the whole entire series from the very beginning, since I'm a huge fan. Now that you're actually in the recording studio, do you guys get emotional while you're doing the recording? Like say, oh my god, it's finally back, and we're recording, and oh my god, I'm doing their voice. Do you get very emotional about that? Because I cry every time I see every episode. I'm crying watching the TV in my computer, and I'm just crying like, oh my god, it's finally back, and I'm crying some more.
You and me both, girl.
Oh my god, yes.
I don't know if I've specifically like been in a session and started crying or anything for this show anyway. But actually just last night I was just thinking about like how lucky I am to be doing what I'm doing just in general. So it's just, I get emotional sometimes about stuff like that.
I think there's been a lot of moments where I've gotten super emotional about the process. I haven't seen the entire series, but I think my very first session was very emotional, and I didn't cry because I was so nervous that I was going to start talking and they were going to be like, oh, that's not the voice we thought you had. Never. Sorry, we wanted the wrong actor. So I was like very nervous that I was going to lose the job the day that I got the job. And so every session after that, once I finally settled in, there are moments where she'll say something or another character will say something. And this has happened for other characters I've played, but it happens a lot with Sailor Venus. That it just amazes me that that's exactly what I needed to hear for whatever I'm dealing with in my own life. And the wisdom from the animation or from another character came, and I was like, it's almost like a divine guided thing. Like, how did they know that I was going to need to hear this today? And so there will be days that I'll leave and I'm like, this is such a gift to get to voice Sailor Venus because it's almost like my guardian angel that's bringing me wisdom or situations that I need. So it's been really nice. So I'll leave sessions and be like, God, I love her so much. It's so great.
I remember I really liked, I got emotional during the end of season 1 where they like sacrificed themselves. That was something that was banned when we were kids. That's not a spoiler, there's 5 seasons of the show, so obviously I felt that. But also when she was talking to, is it Asanuma? Is that his name? The guy who's like her friend from the other school, but in Crystal. I got emotional during that, but she's sick and she's a little vulnerable, and it was like a really, that's a hard place for me to get to because I tend to put up walls, so that scene was very okay. And also I cry every time I see the R trailer, so good job.
You're welcome.
It's so powerful, it's epic.
And that music. Love that music.
For me, it's not during the sessions. I think it's like, all right, I'm doing the scene. But for me, I get the feels when we're watching it together, like at the moon parties we did. Whenever I get to see an episode completed and think like, wow, we sound awesome.
I haven't really seen, know it inside and out. I'm kind of experiencing my journey as Chibiusa and Black Lady, like through the part, through the role. But I do know the very first day that I recorded, I got the chills and I was just like, wow, this is such an important anime. I want to, do justice to the fans and do the best Chibiusa I can and bring the best, acting I can to this role because it's such an important piece. So I was really like, just, my little prayer was that I can honor the part and do the best job I can.
No matter what job I'm working on, I like to start every session just crying in the corner by myself. So I go into a car commercial and I'll just sob for a little bit. Of course, I think we all have, if you're really doing the work, you have a moment, you're going to have little moments where the art affects you. And no matter what way it affects you, you can take it and use it, you can shut it away, it doesn't really matter as an actor, but we experience those things if you're doing it right. If you're going in every day and you don't let it affect you every once in a while, that's how you get jaded and your performances become stilted and you don't grow as an actor. So I've definitely had moments in Sailor Moon where it might not necessarily be something that I'm doing, it's something I'll get to see, or if I'm interested in a certain episode and I go back and watch it, I'll get this little rush of feelings that reminds me that what you're doing affects people like you, like us, and if you really love it, it does affect you emotionally in a lot of different ways. So yeah, definitely makes you feel something.
Yes, I agree. I don't know, everyone said everything. They're so smart and eloquent and emotional people. Although I don't think I've ever really seen them cry in person. But yeah, I've cried during the sad scenes. But I cried a lot. My mom used to tell me in Chinese when I was a kid that my tears are not worth money because I cry so much. But I guess it's like Usagi.
All right, we have time for one more quick question right now, and then it's announcement time. So, Jupiter, yeah, one more quick question.
Why is Hotaru Lady 9?
Why is Hotaru Mistress 9? Well, do you want to answer this?
It's very complicated. Lots of things with the galaxies in possession and
Yeah, that's the best answer. It's complicated. And that's actually a really wonderful lead-in. I have a big announcement for you guys. And it is glittery. More glitter! As we don't do things small scale. And this announcement has to do with Season 3, Sailor Moon S, and you guys are going to get to see something for the very first time right now, provided I click this button. Do you want me to click the button? Do you want me to click the button? All right, let's check out the news. In Season 2, we continue to work our way through the rainbow with this beautiful golden yellow set. It's coming this November. Again, this art is not final, it's still being worked on, but thanks to all of our friends in Japan, we're able to show the box art today. Are you guys excited? And of course, we have the return of the pre-order gift. So if you pre-order at Right Time, you will get the Cosmic Heart Compact coin. That's the front, this is the back. Super sparkly. We'll flip it around to the front again. So that is available for pre-order, and I've got more great news. You can also actually use this link right here. It's actually available for pre-order right now! Woo! Yes! So if you pre-order Right Stuff, there's a very, very, very limited number of coins. So get them while supplies last. Just go to this URL, and if you miss it, we'll also be tweeting it on the Sailor Moon Twitter account. And it's great. And the trailer you just saw, if you like that, it is going to be on YouTube here in just a few minutes, so you can share it with all your friends. But that's not all I have for you guys on this lovely, lovely Sailor Moon Day. I have a really, really, really big surprise. I'm super excited to share with you. Did you guys like what you heard of Uranus and Neptune? Yes! Yeah, brand new Outer Guardians. Well, we're gonna do a little better than a trailer for you guys today. You guys are going to be the very, very, very first to watch an episode. And when you guys leave the room today, you are going to get this wonderful as a memento.
Oh my god.
But the episode we are going to be watching today is probably one of the most fan-favorite episodes ever, especially in Sailor Moon S. We are going to go into the backstory of Haruka and Michiru. We are very, very, very pleased to present to you episode 106 from Sailor Moon S. And we have to remind you, because this is the very, very first time as a premiere, no video, no audio recording, please, but feel free to share the trailer. And now, without further ado, let's watch Sailor Moon S, episode 106. Episodes of Sailor Moon S. That's 5:30 in the JW Marriott.